or doing interviews. You'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready. This is the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks live from Las Vegas. As you can see, I am joined with quite a bit of people here today, so it's a bit of a different show, but I am very excited because we are going to be talking about a very cool film festival here. It's a film competition. It's called the Lucky Sevens. Oh shoot.
Film challenge.
That's right. Okay, I did. I was close. Okay, I got it. I was so close. So close. But okay, so yes, we have one of the founders of it.
Yes.
Ben Stober with us. So why don't we actually start with you, and then we'll go around and introduce some of the filmmakers.
You got it, Corey. No, thank you. Yes. Again, the Lucky Sevens Film Challenge was an incarnation I worked on with Got Films with Jeremy Settles here in Las Vegas. It really stemmed from this whole pandemic was just shutting down everything that was artistic, creative. The community as a whole didn't have really much to work on, and so we were both talking about what could we come up with, maybe something like 48 hours, speed competition, and trying to limit it to at least 7 filmmakers. So we came up with the Lucky Sevens Film Challenge. 7 filmmakers have been chosen to shoot a feature film in 7 days for $7,000 shooting budget and no more than 7 crew members. And we had over 30 filmmakers that submitted.
Wow.
We have over 150 actors that have submitted to audition for these films. And the first one is actually starting May 1st, and the last one is wrapping up around early October. So they have to turn in their films finished and by November 30th, and then they're going to be screened at the Galaxy Luxury Theater December, like early mid-December.
Awesome.
And then from there, we'll take them through film festivals and digital streaming platforms, DVD distribution. So unlike 48 Hour, which, you know, you get to shoot a short in 48 hours and then watch it, celebrate, and then that's it. But like, we wanted something that really not only generated more work opportunities in the community, but also gave these filmmakers a chance to just get their work out there into the world, to shine, to be able to just see what people can do on a micro budget. $10,000 in total, including post, is a micro budget film. And
Absolutely.
And just really getting the community on top of that, raising awareness, being on your show, which is an incredible opportunity to help that, and really just seeing what these filmmakers are going to do with their stories.
Yeah, well, I think it's a really great idea, and then like you said, the 48 hour, it's just like I said, it's a similar concept, but it's full feature, and so that's why it's a little different. It's a lot smaller because there's only 7 people.
Yep.
And I feel really bad for the people that are filming in October.
I know, because they only have a little bit of time.
Is that
you? But it's like she's got a lot of, Tania Dow, one of our filmmakers, has a lot of pre-production time now to work on it. So you have that window. We're giving each filmmaker a 2-week window. They have to shoot within 7 days, but they do have a little bit of a buffer just in case. Because again, 48 hours, you have to turn it in. You know,
right, it's a nightmare.
There's not much of a buffer, but here, it's a film challenge, but we also don't want that to impair the quality of their films because these are features, they're not shorts. So that's why, again, this is the first year we're doing it, so we're like kind of going along as kind of however we feel. If we need to modify some of the rules, we're going to learn for future years to kind of what to work with. So again, they have $7,000 shooting. They have $3,000 for post, so that's $10,000 total. If they need to dip into a little of either or to still make their full $10,000 budget, that's fine. And then really with the crew too, it's also for COVID and safety purposes, because we're getting those vaccines now coming through. This year is really that big year of change where we're going to get through this successfully and healthy. That we want to make sure that we're that we're still keeping to those standards, masking, social distancing, and at the same time just that there are still COVID tests people can take for free.
Excellent.
And myself and/or Jeremy will be on every production every day to ensure and make sure we are maintaining the COVID safety, and just if there's an extra hand or help that's needed through the production. I think the overwhelming excitement is also just seeing the biggest, most important thing that I was really excited is the collaboration with these filmmakers, that they are opening their doors and taking on new crew members, new actors that they haven't worked with. That, you know, I've spent almost an hour talking to every one of these filmmakers during that first kind of interview process, and then myself and Jeremy listening into and comparing our notes, and then We have a couple of investors that are also involved, participating, and really just loved hearing how collaborative people wanted to be. And those directors who were not chosen had the opportunity to take on some of them as part of their crew, from ADs and script supervisors and actors and screenwriters, and it was just exciting, even just for me to see on the outside people that just had not ever worked with each other, but they know each other. It's so easy to have that kind of, it's not the wrong word, but cliquish, where again, you have your group of people, you know, they're committed, dedicated, they can do, you know, what you need them to do. I completely get now and understand over these years why the director has that same pool of people, because they're reliable, hardworking, and strong. But yet this is that opportunity where they can kind of open their doors again and say, wow, this person, you know, I know their work, I've never thought about collaborating, and this is that opportunity to really see them shine and work together.
Absolutely. And obviously we have 7 filmmakers, but today we only have 4 of them.
Definitely introduce them.
And yes, I don't know who wants to go first. I'm sure. Do you want to start first, Tamia? Okay.
Lovely. Yes. Well, hello. I am Tamia Dow. I'm so excited to be sitting here with you, Corey.
We're excited. We've known each other for years, literally since I was born.
I brought her a picture of herself when she was like 10 to remind her. But yes, so it is such an honor, and also because you're such a part of my film journey. Because you and Joe both, right? See, you forgot. I reminded Joe yesterday. But the two of them were part of the 48-hour film project, my first one, and her mom, who's a really good friend of mine. And they convinced me to sign up, because I was signed up as an actress, and they convinced me to sign up as a filmmaker, or as a team leader is what we call it as in the 48. And ever since then, I've had the bug. I just like fell in love with filmmaking. So I thank you both for that, for just giving me that spark and being and like believing in me. You know, because you guys were like, sign up as a team leader. I'm like, really? Okay.
It worked out,
yes,
and here we are now.
Here I am now. Yes.
Yes.
So my film is, I'm the October shooting. I'm going to be filming the 20th of September through October 4th. So we can pick 7 days in between that time frame. My film is called Angel on the Roadside. And it is a Christian post-apocalyptic redemption film.
It's mouthful.
And basically it's the story of rebels who basically refuse to take the mark that's talked about in the Bible in Revelation 13. And so therefore the government and people who have the mark are chasing them down, because they basically want to force them to either take the mark or to die. So that's the journey that we go through in An Angel Along the Roadside, or On the Roadside.
Very cool. Very cool. And then Dale.
Hi, I'm Dale Newton. Yeah, I'm shooting in beginning of August. My film is a time travel fantasy drama. It's called it's called House in Time, and it's about a woman who's been through a couple divorces, and she's just recovering from a nervous breakdown, and she moves back into her childhood house. And while she's there, she discovers that she's crossing through doorways into her past and future. But she's unsure whether she's really traveling through time or if it's all happening in her head.
Oh, interesting. Very cool. And then Brenda.
So my name is Brenda Daly, and my film is called Rogue Angel. And it's about a woman who escaped her very dysfunctional family. She joined the military, she became a complete badass, and then she got a call from her younger sister saying that their mother was dying, so she knew her sister would not have protection from the rest of the family. So it's a thriller drama, and I think it'll be it's very female driven. We have a lot of females on the crew right now, and we wanted to make a very strong statement about, if you are a victim, that you can fight back.
Right. It's a great message, yeah. And then Joe.
My name's Joe Lujan. I am shooting in May, so I'm the one with the least amount of pre-production. But My film is called My Little Nightmare. It is actually the first script I had ever written when I was in college. It's evolved throughout the years. But it's basically about a group of friends who do a very horrible act to a child. And a few years passed after that. There's a curse placed on them. And something or someone, I'll say, is out back for revenge and takes them off one by one. Yeah. So it's like a horror suspense type film. Yeah, I really like it.
See, I think that's really interesting. Everyone has like very different film, and that's what's cool about it, is everyone has completely different genres, completely different storylines, everything. I think that's a really awesome thing.
And that's what I love most too, is that there were maybe only 2 filmmakers, one of which who was selected, who's not here, Mike Conway, that had a Bigfoot film that he wanted to shoot up in Mount Charleston, which loved Bigfoot, and I know that some filmmakers in Vegas were wanting to last year that didn't work out. And we also have Drew Marvick, who is our additional filmmaker, and he has more of a classic horror slasher, The Las Vegas Ripper, tentatively titled, that takes place in Vegas. And he definitely has, again, just that comedy horror combination that he's most known for his previous film. And oh boy, okay, so Deborah Richards. I know, for a moment I had to remember. I know, it's not keeping track as a producer of just one film,
Right.
one story, it's
Right.
7.
It's a
oh
lot,
boy.
yeah,
I'm gonna get this over time,
Yeah.
I tell you what. But Deborah Richards, who graduated from CSN Film School, this also is going to be her feature film debut, as with Tamia and also Brenda Daly, which is really exciting too, is the fact that in going through these filmmakers, that they didn't necessarily have to have feature filmmaking experience, but it was more of their stories, their films, their story pitch, their team, what they have already assembled, and just their connection, their support to the community. And Deborah Richards, her story, Move Me No Mountain, is really going to focus and dive into the homeless community.
Right.
That is more of a psychological drama. And again, like Joe said, he is the first one to start. I know, a little less pre-production time, but we are starting casting this week, kind of going over the casting breakdowns. And again, anybody that hasn't submitted yet from an acting side can still do so through lucky7sfilmchallenge@gmail.com. That's all spelled out. If they Google it, that'll also take us to our Facebook group, our Instagram, and websites being worked on as we speak.
Okay, cool. And then, so obviously I want to talk to everybody. I want to go down the line again. What made you guys actually want to do this film project? And it's obviously going to be very challenging and difficult and very different. And like you said, 3 of them are the first time making your first feature film, which is very impressive, but it's a very stressful thing. So what made you actually want to do this, and what do you think your biggest challenge will be? And I don't know who wants to go first.
Ladies first.
He's actually a scumbag.
So I'm excited for any challenge, okay? And when Ben called me, I was actually in production of a film at the time, and he was like, come put it in. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have time, right? But I did, because of Ben's energy and excitement and the fact that he really, really wanted to put this challenge together. And I thought, well, how cool, right? So inspiration was Ben. Now, but also we have 2 other people who I just mentioned inspired me. Because when you do a 48, and I've done it twice now, and then I actually did several stay-at-home 48s during, and Brenda and I were partners on quite a few of them. Yes,
I didn't know that
we did
either.
stay-at-home 48s during the COVID. So we've made quite a few films, Brenda and I, together during this time. So to me, when you were asking about what challenge do you see, I didn't see any challenges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, you're telling me I have 7 days.
That's 5 bonus days. That's 168 hours instead of 48.
Exactly. So I was just super excited about that when you said we had, and then when you said we had money. You know, I was like, because I've been doing this without money for some time, right? So again, I was like, plus. So for me, I didn't see it as a challenge. I just saw it as an amazing opportunity. I already had the story idea that was coming to my mind, and then when I talked to Ben, he fleshed it out with me. Because Ben was like, do you have anything, and you might be thinking about, and this and this and this? And I said, yeah, I actually started with a short. So the angel on the roadside was a short initially, but then as Ben and I talked, and we talked about elements and all this kind of stuff, and before you know it, and then of course, you know, I've been talking and I'm going off and back and forth with Dell. You know, we're just building it.
Yeah.
We're building it, and it's going to be an amazing feature. And I just love the challenge. And like you said, I'm one of the ones that has a long pre. So I have plenty of time to do scripts and table reading and, you know, go site look, all that stuff will be in my favor. So I'm very excited about that.
And I think the most unique, powerful thing I have to acknowledge about to me as well is that she was like a secondary alternate. That she wasn't primarily the first 7 that was chosen, yet there were now, I believe, 3 that ended up having to drop out in the early stages due to other commitments, times, productions. So we had to have those backups in case, and it was just an answer, a prayer, and a miracle, and incredible for to me to be able to accept the challenge, because then it was like, oh, after to me, I'm like, I didn't have anything written down. I need to look through and come up with more. I need to be ready. I need to
There
be on
was
top
no
of this.
number 10.
I know, there wasn't a plan D or F. I don't know. So please. So yes, it was just an incredible miracle. And just as I said, each of their stories, it was just, I could see it, I could picture it. It was just impactful and incredible. So
Well, and I also consider myself the lucky 7 because I've literally moved into the 7th slot.
yes,
Right?
absolutely.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
That's a good one. There you go. Yes.
Me.
Yes, you.
Challenges.
Originally I wasn't going to do another, I didn't want to do another micro budget movie because I had just made one and I was working on a project for like in the millions.
Yeah.
But
What was that film, by the way, Dale?
that was Two Worlds, teen fantasy film,
Awesome.
drama.
And what was your previous micro-budget film, though? that you were-
Unwritten, which got distributed by Random Media. We got it on all the platforms.
Yeah.
So if you want to go see it, go watch it because it's all out there. It's out there. So I wasn't, until the last minute, I was like, I just couldn't pass up the challenge to do a no budget film and try to make something really good on that low budget. And then when I came up with my story idea, then I was totally excited. And since then through now, I'm just totally, because it's a story that can not only be done on a low budget, but it's a story that even if I had $5 million, I'd still make this film because it's not a film that's just for a low budget, but it will work under a low budget.
Right.
So I'm really excited. I
Yeah.
call it the little film that can.
Yes. Well, and this house is a big character in itself, like you say.
Right.
It's the primary part of the story, interior, exterior, and again, the unwritten film, for those that haven't seen it, is just a psychological mystery. It's always fun where you don't know the outcome of the story, much like this one. When we talked about it, it was just like, ooh, okay, time traveling, past, present, what's going to happen? What are the consequences? Like anything with time travel. I think that was just so
Yeah.
impressive when you shared that story.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, I think that's awesome. And when are you filming?
I'm filming the beginning of August.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So
So,
I've got equal pre-production, post-production.
there you go.
So.
Smart.
He was an example where these filmmakers had to send in their shooting schedules as to when they wanted to pick, and there was a slight conflict where it's like, oh shoot, these 2 filmmakers selected the same block of time, exact same block, so it's like, now I need to look back, who put it in first? Okay, let's get this, okay, good. we're clear.
Gotcha.
We got it.
Yeah, but I guess that works. You got perfectly equal. So
Yeah.
yes. And then Brenda.
What was the question again? It was, what's the biggest challenge? Honestly, for me, the biggest challenge is the script. I actually wrote 59 pages and then didn't like what I wrote, so I started again 4 days ago. And I think it was just because I was excited to get my team together and do something that we all wanted to do, but then because I'm a big people pleaser, I was trying to do too much of what everybody else wanted to do, and I kind of lost my story. So I had to start all over. I had to call Ben. I really do like the story. We definitely simplified everything. My family kind of helped me out. My husband and my son were kind of like, hey, you know what you should do, and it's kind of the same story. It just took out a couple of the too many elements, and so it made a clear path of what we wanted to do. And you know, we wanted to make sure that we told a message, and we wanted to make a message of a strong female. So I thought we accomplished that. I feel like I can write the last 30 pages in my sleep at this point, which is great.
Yeah.
But make it a feature. I'm not really worried about the time, the 7 days. I know that can be done. I know that budget-wise, I'm not too concerned about it, as long as everybody's not really working with a lot of money.
Right,
You know, because I want to make sure that it's beautiful and that people are rooting for our main character. Because sometimes you can be a badass and you can extract revenge on people and have people root for you doing it. Yeah. So that's, to me, those things were super important.
Yeah. And then what made you actually want to do the film festival?
The film festival, I just was in the middle of crowdfunding my Mom Squad because I'm doing a comedy. And Ronnie Nanos contacted me because he's in Mom Squad, and he's like, you really, really, really need to, you and Tamia and Julie really need to put in for this. And they need a strong female director, and I was like, oh wow, I got all this stuff going on, I don't know. And then I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna do it, so I sat down, I literally spent 8 hours putting together my package, because I figure if you're gonna be a filmmaker, you gotta make sure you put together a professional package so that people will take you seriously. So I did that, and I was just excited to do a feature, and I figure I can release one with them, and then Mom Squad will release right after that, and I'll have actually proven myself as a women director.
Yes, and you were able to get fully funded.
I was fully funded for Mom Squad, yes.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
It's very, and you know, the problem is, what's great is there's so many filmmakers here and so many movies constantly being going on, but at the same time it's difficult because the funding is just, when you're an indie filmmaker, I don't think a lot of people understand like how much money goes into it. And $10,000, it's a lot of money, but like you said, it's really not a lot of money for filmmaking. So it's a lot of struggles, but I think it's amazing everyone's doing it, and I think it'll be awesome.
I think we have a big, strong community too, because even
Yes.
like Tamia had a problem, she wanted to get a poster made, and then somebody else from another team did that, and I think we're all kind of willing to, because it's not really about who wins,
Right.
it's about the process of doing it.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that's I think that's the vein that it's in. I mean, trophy's a trophy. They're great, it's wonderful, but I think at the end of the day, it's just, did I make a beautiful film?
Right.
And you touch on a great point. This isn't a Lucky Sevens competition.
Right.
This is a challenge.
Right.
And making that clear, and maybe I hadn't necessarily until this point too, and remembering that this is really, again, not competing 7 filmmakers against each other, but supporting, finding ways of helping, because at the end, it's a marathon. It's not a race. All films are going to get completed, cross that finish line by November 30th. All attend that red carpet premiere, watch those films shine and be acknowledged for what many talk about making a movie, but then never get around to doing, or to be able to accomplish it in that period of time, in that budget and cost, and to just show the whole world what Vegas filmmakers can do, and that when this is successful, to franchise it and expand it across the country so other states get that same opportunity.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
the win and the award is completing the film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
the overall win
Yes.
when it comes to it. Yeah.
For sure. And then speaking of it,
Speaking of winners.
Challenges. I don't want to say that the time or the budget is really a challenge. As you know, and others, my films rust. I mean, I shot a whole feature in one day with $100 budget. So it was like, when I was, when we were talking about the budgets and all
in
that.
the middle of 100 degrees.
In the middle of 100 degrees.
In a haunted house with no air.
And we still got it done. So to me, that wasn't really a challenge. I think the challenge for me, if anything, was being more with the age of COVID, evolving how the process is of creating a film. Before you could have all these helping hands and all these actors, now you can't. So to me, that would probably be the biggest challenge. The script was already done. I'm still adding final touches to it, but I think it's just more of an experience. One of the main things I want to do is just like, yeah, we can do this. This is easy. Yeah. It's been a while since I had done a feature. It's been like 3 months, but it's been a while. So I was just like, yeah, let's do it. I think it's time that this story comes to life, and I'm just excited to create and have fun.
Yeah. I think it's so cool that everyone is on completely different levels, and like you said, 3 of them, although have a lot of experience, not a feature film, which is very difficult, and it's a very different thing. And then you have people that have done a lot of micro budget feature films and everything. So it's cool that everyone's at different levels, and like you said, the most important thing is everyone's supporting each other, which is so rare.
How many people have already been reaching out and just offering to just do makeup or props or effects and things, posters, cutting trailers, that people are believing and wanting to support what this film challenge is about. And it's building community, strengthening each of these films, because we're all in it together. That again, it is not a competition, which I get. 48-hour films are projects, but it is still a bit of that competition in the end. And it's just, again, seeing and opening up the community, creating collaboration and support, and just, like I said earlier, too, we have some investors that are involved, but we also have this goal. We have this current Indiegogo campaign for the Lucky Sevens Film Challenge that launched last week, Wednesday. Yes. And so it is currently a week in. We are very close to hitting $15,000 so far. So our current goal is $49,000. That's $7,000 per 7 film. That's $49,000. Our big dream goal is to try to get $80,000. In that, if we can get this fully funded, then we don't need the investors, and that the filmmakers can actually make more money at the end once they are distributed. More money can go into their marketing campaign with their films to go to the various film festivals that they'd like to travel to. So it's everybody's support together will help fund and make this possible. Because again, it's not funding one film or even 7. It's supporting indie filmmakers everywhere, and it's starting here in Nevada, in Vegas, and it's just overwhelming to see again the amount of support that we're getting so far. And there's more exclusive perks that I started yesterday, and we're going to have guest speakers for Facebook chats. Everybody that goes on to Facebook, to the Lucky Sevens Film Challenge on Facebook group that they can join, that's open. There's a private, but there's an open one. We'll be able to get access to interviews with the filmmakers and ask questions too. We're going to kind of have a couple of those over the course of the few weeks.
Awesome. I think it's an amazing idea. I'm so glad everyone that is involved, because like you said, everyone that is involved is a huge part of the film community. And the film community here, it's huge, but it's also very small. And it's very different. And I think it's getting more and more attention. I think we should be bigger than Hollywood eventually.
Right?
Well, first of all, we have so many things to film. We have the Strip, we have the suburbs, we have the mountains, the lake, everything. And it's a perfect place. And hopefully this will bring more attention to it. And it's the Sevens, the Lucky Sevens, it's perfect for Vegas. It's just everything about it is really cool, and everyone involved is amazing. And I think it's a really great idea, and I'm so glad.
You're going to be hopefully a part of it, to be in one of these films. And everybody else can still submit too through lucky7sfilmchallenge@gmail.com to participate, and even just reach out if there's any crew experience that you have that maybe you weren't aware of this in the first place. Still feel free to message us, email us, and let us know how you'd like to help.
I was going to ask because we're doing this, is just if you have a location you want to come up and please donate that. If it's a location, I think that's going to be a big problem for a lot of us. I know we're looking for certain places that we can go. So if you have like an idea, that would be awesome for us as the filmmakers.
That's a really good point, Brenda, because we're going to be posting in the group that you're talking about, the Facebook group, if we have a need. Like, for example, I need a super old car. I need an old car that people would work on, in your driveway, that has no electronics in it, that kind of thing, because these are rebels, so they can't be connected. There can't be a way to track them. So someone who has a pretty nice looking mint old vehicle, we'd love to have that donated, for us to use as part, you know what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot of things that the different directors might need, and if you check our page, we'll put them on there, and you can say, hey, I have that to donate, and what do you get? You get a perk, right?
Exactly.
You get a shout out or a thank you or this or that. So please follow the page.
And I was actually going to ask that. I was going to ask, is there anything in particular? I mean, obviously, actors have submitted, and you're still looking for actors, of course, and crew. but what else can people like?
Absolutely.
So obviously the car and
Yeah.
places to film. Anything else that?
Is there anything that comes to mind right now?
Anybody get a cabin up in Mount Charleston? I would love that.
Yeah, right?
It's got to be old though. It's got to not look so great, but yeah. Or like maybe an old trailer, like a trailer park trailer or something like that would be awesome.
Yes, I need an RV. If somebody has, no, seriously, I need an RV.
In that case, I need a nightclub. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So definitely, please go on our Facebook group. You're going to find a lot of
Needs.
Exactly, a lot of
There you
needs.
go.
And again, as a producer, executive producer on these films, along with Jeremy, we are going to be filling those positions of finding those locations with each film. Because again, these are shooting back to back to back to back, and it's making sure we're giving that window of time to really work personally with each of them to make sure they have what they need. Because if they don't, then you have to look into the script and work some magic.
Yeah.
And again, it's also just focusing on what's in that frame. Anything else around it, outside of it, it doesn't matter. It's what's in that frame. If it looks like a church in that frame or a
Right.
nightclub, perfect. They will believe it, they will buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, much like 48 Hours, a lot of these filmmakers have had that experience in some capacity or another, or doing short films, working with those limited time constraints and budgets. That was really key and imperative too. And again, just their stories, as you said, Corey, too, they're very diverse. They're not all identical or the same. There's a great range of stories to be told.
Absolutely. No, I think it's amazing. And like I said, I love everyone that's involved. I think it's going to be a great thing. And if you want to put me in any of your
I need a
films.
rebel.
Yeah.
I always need rebels.
But why don't we go down the line? Everyone, tell people where they can keep obviously the Facebook page, but individually, I want everyone to promote their stuff and if they're working on any other projects, because I know everyone's super busy and everyone needs support, and that's why we're here. So go over where people can find you, keep up to date with you, and help with support you in any way. So why don't we start this side? Finally.
Now I have to think.
You should write this down.
So you can search Joe Lujan or Carcass Studios on any platform. You'll find any of our social media accounts. On there, you'll find exclusive content that we release just for those platforms. Right now, we're gearing up to release the next installment for the Immortal Wars in 2 weeks. So fingers crossed, we're there, we're done. There's a lot to say that I'm working on. There's Rust 3, there's Billy, there's so many other things. But yeah, social media, we're constantly putting stuff out there. As far as the challenge, we are looking for specific locations. Like I said, restaurants. We're looking a restaurant, not multiple. Restaurant, a nightclub, a church. If people want to film in their houses, that'd be great too. That'll help us out. Makeup artists. We're still casting, so we're still gonna look at that. Now I want to throw it out. There is no, so the viewers can know, there is no limit to how many films they can be in, correct? Or there is a limit?
Primarily with 150 people already submitting, the goal was to
7.
right.
The limit is
7.
That is a good one. But like if an actor wanted to, if the directors would cast the same person, cast
Correct.
it, you know what I mean?
So
Or is that allowed?
The
I don't
primary
know.
goal is to make sure that with 150 actors submitting, that at least every actor will get a chance to be in one film. So for example, there may be that popular actor or actress that every filmmaker wants, and the goal of course would be to try to give that actor an opportunity or a chance to kind of select which
Fair
film.
across the board.
Exactly.
Yeah,
'cause
okay.
I wanted to make sure, again, that was giving even more opportunities for the community. That's a really good question to bring up too as well. Absolutely.
You can find me, Brenda Daly, on Facebook. I'm Mama Bird Nest on Instagram. You can find me if you look up Mom Squad. You can find me on IMDb Pro. I am also an actor. And I think that's about it. I think if you just type in my name, I'm the first thing that comes up on Google.
Right.
Okay.
I'm Ben Stober, STOBBER, so you can find me on Instagram, social media, TikTok. I'm going to start a TikTok
Yeah.
this week. I really wanted to do TikTok. I'm excited. I'm like, that looks like so much fun. And also benstober.com website, and just started my first production company, Helping Hands Productions. That was a huge inspiration from this film challenge. Wanted to really just start working as a producer and filmmaker and just creating content. So again, feel free to follow me on any of those social media platforms.
Yes.
Dale Nevin, Neven, Facebook, Twitter, website. Unwritten's my movie that's out. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free, or you can rent it on any of the other platforms. House in Time, the one I'm doing now for this challenge, you can go to the movie page for that, House in Time. And I might have a house, but we're still looking for houses just in case, because that's our main location. Basically, where everything's taken place, so we need an older house, probably at least 40 years old. And I won't get into specifics right now, but that's a major thing we'll need.
Nice. Tamia Dow, and you can Google me, TAMIADOW. You'll find out some very interesting stuff. Because I had a life before being a filmmaker, and it was very interesting. So, Tamia_Dow at Instagram, Chaplain, CHAPLAIN, Dow, DOW, on Facebook. LinkedIn, it's Tamia Dow. On Facebook for my production page, 8 Spirit Production. And just a little bit for you two is that's what I came up with in 48, and I went on from there. So I stayed with the same name, just made it a production company, and now that's that. I'm just finishing in post-production on a India in Las Vegas film called A Rising Eagle, where I literally had to cast from Las Vegas Indian people, create an Indian house, and film the film. So we're in post-production for that right now. Please follow that on Facebook, A Rising Eagle Movie. And Angel on the Roadway also has its own page.
Roadside.
Thank you. I love this team. They keep me on track. I keep changing the name.
It's early. You can change it the other. It's okay.
And God bless Tamia. All this time and years, I would call her, because she would always be so supportive of attending these screenings and the film premieres, that I would call her Chaplain, because I thought that was her first name. And she corrected me once. She's like, why do you call me Chaplain? That's my time. My name is Tamia. Oh, no!
I'll admit I made that mistake for a while. I think you corrected me too.
Probably, yeah. I do it subtly, though. No one else knows. You end up telling.
They all know now.
Now everyone knows it's Tamia.
Yeah. If you screw it up, well then you got an issue. Well, thank you guys all so much for being on. I think you guys will do incredible. Good luck to all of you. I know it'll be amazing. And thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, please go out and support them in any way you can. If you got any of the things they want, if you can't support financially, if you could support physically, and just sharing and everything is a huge ordeal. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you and God bless.
Amen. Bye.
Bye.